I think the saving grace of the country is that we've not gone into war, right? Or food shortage.
Okay.
We've not had natural disasters. So we can lose 500 doctors in 1 year, but there are like 200 new doctors coming on board.
Right.
So it's like using Band-Aid on a big wound. Just keep using Band-Aid. That's why it has not blown up in our faces.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Uncolored Podcast with yours truly, of course, Venita Akpofure. And as usual, I'm going to be piloting you through international zones. And you don't even need a visa. This topic is happening right now online. Today's topic is brain drain. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means that everybody who is learned, maybe a highly skilled individual, are actually planning to leave the country at quite an alarming rate for various reasons. And as a result, this is critically affecting so many industries nationwide. Today, I'm going to be talking to two business moguls who are in the know of doing work both here and abroad that can give us their own personal insights on this topic. Catch up with them right after this break.
Want to japa but stuck at the starting line? Meet Vesti. Get a US green card if you have a master's degree, access to loans and savings accounts, and enjoy full support for your school or work visa. We handle your banking and visa support fast and easy. Go with Vesti.
So speaking of which, my first guest is a very solid human being. He's internationally renowned. He is one of our favorite comedians. He has also been my boss on more than one occasion and just an all-round amazing human being. Some of you may know him as Bovi. Bovi, welcome to the set.
That's who I am. Everybody knows me as Bovi.
I mean, Bovi, well, yes. Everybody knows you as that.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Also, next to him, of course, you already know, I had to have a queen for the sisterhood. She is big in the game of beauty and business, and she's a serial entrepreneur and a very public personality, one that stands for the girls steady repping and my personal sweetheart. Please help me welcome Dabota Lawson. Thank you. Welcome, girl. So this brain drain of a thing, I'll explain to you, just in case you're not up to date with it completely. It's about the people that we have in the country, in Nigeria, who are acquired skills, very, very, high-end skills, and decided that, hey, this place I don't think I want anymore, and they have taken those skills elsewhere. Currently, there are a lot of people doing that. Why do you think this is happening, Bovi?
Well, I'm resisting the urge to tell you that you didn't have to define brain drain to me.
It's not just for you now. I have people at home that may not know.
Okay.
So just help us.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I will try to narrow it down because I think it's a very wide scope. The reasons are very many. Right?
Yes.
But I'll try to narrow it down and talk about the entertainment industry, even though the parts I'm going to talk about affect virtually every other industry.
Right.
When it comes to brain drain. Infrastructure. It's let's keep it simple. And let's go to the basics. Infrastructure is key for anything to succeed. So take entertainment, for example. Let's use stand-up comedy. That's one of the things I do and one of the things I love doing. I started my own one-man shows in Eco Hotel, right? And since then, I have not had a bigger, more conducive venue to go to. So it's like starting at the top. And when you start at the top, there's only one place to go, and that's down. You get what I'm saying? Infrastructure is the problem. Eco Hotel is an average of 3,000 people to sit. Right? I have more than 3,000 fans who like my stand-up comedy.
Yes, you do.
But there's nowhere to put them. There's no 10,000-seater arena. There's no 20,000-seater arena. You get? So these are some of the issues. Many of Nigeria's entertainers, the A-list ones that have international appeal, they do shows abroad.
Yeah.
Because there's infrastructure. You don't have to fight to get into a show. You don't have to struggle to line up to get into a show. You don't have to fight to get your seat. It's easy peasy out there, you know. I travel for shows out there and I see how easy it is. Now I come back home and I'm like, you know what? I saw this when I went to see Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. This was how it was. There was no queue at the gate. I tell my team and we achieve it. But it is still the same building. So you see, we are ready to grow as individuals, but the system is lacking infrastructure.
Okay. So the system is putting a limit or a cap on what we can achieve.
Virtually everything. That's why you hear things like, oh, you have priced yourself out of the market.
You've priced yourself out of market?
Somebody's told me that.
Huh.
Actually, I've been told that twice. Right?
Recently or?
One was recent, the other one was years ago, like 2019 or 18. And then take a look at your favorite Nollywood actors. What did they do wrong before you stopped seeing them? Nothing. They just became bigger than their own industry. So we operate from a market where we don't understand that an individual is a brand, and that brand should translate into several other things. You get?
I get it.
Merchandise and all that, and money. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yes. Amen to money. While looking for money.
Right.
Well, Dabs, I'm going to come to you because, you know, if it comes to business, like, you've got it. I've been privileged enough to watch your story. But yes, tell us how difficult or how challenging it has been, because you have this statement of, if your business survives more than 2 years in Lagos, then you must know what you're doing. And your business has been standing for quite some time. So what has kept you rooted here? What has kept you and your business rooted here?
So for me, to be honest, it's just a thing where I personally have a positive outlook on life, not necessarily because the system is really 100% working for me. Yeah, there's some things that work, but some of the important structures that need to be put in place for, you know, an entrepreneur to actually thrive, especially like in my industry, which is beauty, are just not there. And then you have things like, so for me, I depend heavily on importation, and with the constant fluctuation of the currency, you can imagine how much of a struggle that is for me. Most beauty professionals find it hard to even publicly say, this is my career, because, again, the system is not supporting, does not respect, does not allow for people to truly, you know, express the best part of themselves in my industry. And this is a good amount of people that I'm talking about, which make up the entire population of Nigeria. Now, my industry is a $585 billion industry, and you see the people who are benefiting from this $585 billion industry living outside, but gaining knowledge, experience, learning skills from those of us who are here, who are, you know, not even taking any percentage that you can say is something out of the global market share. So, of course, by the time a young girl who wants to have a career in business, who probably didn't have the kind of platform that I have, because I started off from being a beauty queen. So I already had that advantage. I was already somewhat visible. But just imagine a girl who maybe her parents can afford to put her through higher institution, so no university degree, and wants to develop her skill in beauty, wants to grow, wants to one day have an establishment such as mine. I mean, where does she start from? How can the system support her? If she wanted to become a manufacturer of beauty, and I'm not just talking makeup, skincare,
anything
aesthetics.
at all,
Today, she saves up maybe 10 million She buys a couple of products for 10 million. She sells it. Probably she has like a 10%, 15% margin for her markup. And then before she has even finished selling the goods, the price has changed.
That currency.
So it then eats into her profits. It then eats into so many things. How can such a person be encouraged to continue? Now, the next thing these people are looking at are their counterparts in other parts of the world who don't even have as much skill, who don't even have to struggle as much as the people here do. What are they thinking to do? Japa, right? That's it. So the system here really creates a very, very strong sense of discouragement for people who really want to thrive as entrepreneurs. And that in return makes them think there must be some other place where I can birth this thing that is in me. I can bring to life my dreams, my goals, my vision. And all they're thinking about to do is to leave.
Well, I know this is your passion. I know how much you care about it. And I know a lot of people that have come into your way and you have assisted in business. So I know you are doing your part. You know, you've gone around to schools and you've spoken positively about chasing your dreams. But what can maybe the government or people that are in the powers that be, what can they do to encourage or remove this roof of limitation that, you know, the youth seem to have when they just simply want to start living their own life? What do you think can be done?
I think for me, I would say maybe start by listening.
Very important.
Because I don't think, as much as people think as loud as people think social media is, there's a whole generation of people in power who don't really have time for that.
Right.
So they're not really hearing. They're not really listening. How can they really understand? The world has changed. Yeah. If people would say the world has changed from the 80s, from the 90s, the whole world totally changed after COVID. It's a whole different, and this is not about a particular generation at this point in time. We're talking about the mindset of every human being existing today has changed. And if people in power who maybe have not really understood the grassroots younger generation and the struggles that they face and the level of exposure that they have in this struggle, they're not listening. I mean...
So, you guys heard it. You need to listen a bit more. I'm just going to quickly tap over into another industry, which is the medical one. So we've touched on entertainment and we have touched on beauty. But one area in particular where this is creating quite a vacuum is in the medical industry, because before half of the medical students have graduated, they're already planning to japa. What kind of future do we have with this kind of situation on ground right now, with half of the students trying to leave, for example, in the medical sector? Bovi.
I think the saving grace of the country is that we've not gone into war, right? Or food shortage.
Okay.
You know, we've not had natural disasters, so we can lose 500 doctors in 1 year, but there are like 200 new doctors coming on board.
Right.
You know, so it's like using Band-Aid on a big wound. Just keep using Band-Aid. That's why it has not blown up in our faces, right? If the government wants to stem the tide, just check what the West is doing. Why are doctors comfortable going to work in other countries? It's not just the money. If you're passionate about something, but when you get to work, there's light. There's a decent office. There's a decent accommodation, right? And transportation. You don't got to fight to go to work. You don't need to fight to go back home. When you have a decent life, it may not be perfect, but at least that decency
the necessities
is not lost.
Yeah.
You get patients have died from lack of blood or because generator went off during operation. If you're a medical doctor, would you like to work under that kind of condition? The answer is no.
What do you think?
I think there's one thing,
Go ahead.
there's one thing that is helping to even hide this mess is the fact that there are those in private practice.
Okay, that are
Yes.
functioning and have reputable
Yes.
private practices.
Yes. You find everybody cannot afford it, but trust me, it is serving as a plan
buffer.
B, a buffer.
Yes.
You get, imagine if you just had to go to government hospitals only. I think everything would have collapsed by now.
Yeah, well, that would be a bit insane because we did have a doctor who said he sometimes saw over 100 patients a day. Yes, in one day. But on the flip, this is happening and we know it's happening. And, you might have doctors and nurses who are in London, they're used to a system, but they kind of want to come back home and make their own impact. But like you said, it's usually privatized. So for the ones who maybe do not have enough capital to privatize, do you think they should still try and come back and bring these learning skills back home? Or do you think they should try their luck in a system that is where the infrastructure works?
Well, I think it boils down to the individual making that kind of decision. But for me, I would say if I was a medical doctor abroad and I wasn't satisfied, anybody who wants to live there to come home is either homesick or stressed out from work there, right? But it's not because they are coming to a better system here. So I would tell them, learn the ropes, learn how to survive. That's one thing social media has done for everybody. Social media changed the world. And like you said, in 2020, COVID changed the world, but social media was also there to make everybody say, okay, now this is me. Use me.
Yes, it
right?
was magnified. The effect was very magnified.
Exactly. I know there are laws that guide practices for medical doctors and engineers, right? But there are the ones who are using social media to their advantage. They would not give you a diagnosis online, but they will tell you, oh, this. Trust me, many of them have their private practice on the side, under the radar,
Okay, well, you're a parent and you're a parent as well. So, the children have not yet quite understood what is happening. And God's prayer, we keep them in their nice bubble. But obviously, as a parent, you will be concerned about the future of your child being in a country where maybe there's not so great medical care, and everybody's jackpotting. Would you encourage your child to travel abroad to seek their own life, or would you encourage them, for example, if they wanted to do something medical or in entertainment or in beauty, to muscle it here at home the way you did? Because, we are their idols, after all. Would you encourage Princess?
Well, I didn't muscle it here.
Okay.
My parents sent me to boarding school when I was 16, just turned 16, to the UK. So, and then up until I had finished university and had a bit of work experience, then I moved back. So for me, I'm not advising people, but for me, for my child, I would follow the same
pattern.
I, on my own, made up my mind to move back to Nigeria and establish myself, and I would say it was the best decision I made.
Oh, I love that.
I always say, I don't think I would have come this far if I was still living there. So I'm hoping that, they would, my children, my child now, and then my children in the future.
Amen.
will, maybe perhaps follow the same lead, because I know the kind of impact that experience had on my life. And I know it has been a strong contributor to my survival skills here as well. So, yeah.
What about you, Bovi? Should they go off and go and be superstars, or should they come and try your luck here? What's the situation for you?
Well, first off, my kids don't even live in the country anymore.
Where are they?
They're in the UK. 2 years now.
Okay.
And that's because it started by accident. My first son has been there since 2021. boarding house. I went to boarding in Nigeria, and I'm like, I know what boarding did for me. It made me street smart.
Okay.
Very street smart, right?
Okay.
So I said, my kid needs to go to boarding. But my kid will not go to a boarding school where a fellow student who is at most 4 years older than my kid would ask him to kneel down or fetch his water or make his bed or beat him up. And I don't want to beat nobody's kid or fight anybody's parent.
Right, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, I don't like bullying.
Right.
Right? And that's one thing that the system has accepted.
So it's very rampant in the education system.
Yeah.
In your time.
Till now.
Till now.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and people say, oh, that's how you toughen up. No, because when I was young in boarding, I couldn't fathom a fellow kid. The oldest kid in secondary school is supposed to be 16 years old. Right? I couldn't fathom a kid telling me to kneel down or lie down. That is disciplining me. So maybe I've always been rebellious. But many kids collapsed under that. And then it affects them in real life when they now enter life properly. You know, so I was like, I'm not going to be a part of that system. What I do is I make sure my kids watch everything Nigerian, listen to Nigerian music, eat Nigerian food. So they have options. And whatever they want to do, it's up to them. But I'm ensuring they don't forget where they're from.
Very, very, very important. Very, very important, actually. All right. You said you're very happy for this decision. Did you always spend all your life in Nigeria? Or have you grown up in other parts of the world?
Yeah.
And you're still here, and your whole family is on that side.
I mean, I shuffle. It's London. It's just 6 hours away.
It's the shuffle for
It's
me.
just
When some people cannot even reach you, shuffling.
It's just 6 hours. I work hard, so, you know.
So how has that been? Because obviously, you know, you're not at home with everybody all the time. How does that affect the family dynamic, or, you know, the father-daughter, father-son relationship?
I've seen people who grew up with their parents and they are very dysfunctional. So, you know.
Facts on facts.
But like we always say, thank God for social media. Not just social media. Thank God for better communication devices and tools and means, basically. So I'm in touch with them. It does not. It subsidizes for that physical connection, basically. But I try to be there as often as possible. And then I went to boarding too, and there was no phones when I went to boarding.
They have phones?
Oh, yeah. They have phones, they make the beds.
So as far as you're concerned, they're enjoying?
They're in the hotels.
Hey, I like that. Well, this point of infrastructure is underlying sentence that keeps cropping up. So if these things were set in place, if light was working, water is working, public transport is working, do you think it will, you know, show a decrease possibly in our learned folk running away? Most definitely.
I sincerely think if we had 24 hours light, if we remove generator noise. Just remove the thought of having a generator, dealing with a generator from the Nigerian population, there will be a huge difference. There will be a huge change, because honestly, that situation, I think, is one of the major setbacks that Nigeria has. Like, imagine, like, in government schools, you want to study for your exam and you have to struggle
with a candle or something. Yeah.
I mean, I personally have experienced that before.
Oh, wow.
Because I also went to boarding school in Nigeria, where, you know, you have your lanterns, and then we upgraded to those electric radio lights.
Rechargeable
lamps, yeah.
You know, just imagine the struggle for a child that just wants to try. And then, you know, imagine a child who maybe generally not of their making, but are not as fast-paced as other students, having to now go through this struggle. Where do you want to start from? All this because of no light.
And it's so ironic, because Nigerians, we're amongst the smartest people in the world. And there are so many huge companies that literally hire people that have packed degrees, packed knowledge from here, and just
Out.
What secondary school did you go to?
Secondary school.
You
I
were
went
in
to-
boarding?
Yes, I went
Which
to
boarding?
2. The last one was Vivian Fowler.
Oh, okay.
And then before that, I went to Royal Girls Academy in Port Harcourt.
Oh, good school. You.
yes now.
went to
See how
good
she's
school.
speaking now, sweet girl.
Please don't underestimate my ability, my street ability.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
I was going to say, in addition to what she said, right? You need to understand that most of the Nigerians who go abroad to seek a better life, they don't want to be billionaires. It's not like, and I'm not saying they are turning to poverty. I'm just saying they just want a decent life. They just want to be able to wake up and know that their life is not in danger. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get
Wake
you.
up, know that the bus or the train, I can get it by this time. If I miss it, this is the next one. My kids in school know that if their light is functioning at home, there's security. If they call 911 or call
there's a
emergency
situation.
services, that's just what people want. Majority, a decent life.
And if your bills every month is £500,
Yes.
you can budget
Plan
for £500. For me, sometimes I'm in my office and you just see somebody walking. We're from this
I want to cut lights.
government parastatal.
Okay.
Come and pay for this. You pay for parking and this. I'm like, but this is my
Pay
space.
for sticker.
You have to pay
You
for
pay-
parking
Yes.
in your space.
In my
They do
space.
that.
I said, this is my space. They said, no, from here to here. No, but I'm the one that did that place. It's not the government that did it for me.
Wow.
Oh, you have to pay television and radio license. Okay, for each store.
Do you use the TV?
We don't even use
wow.
I mean, when you're saying radio and television license,
It's for streaming
what TV
airing.
station are we watching here? I'm literally with this TV buying my
Cable.
internet, providing everything. So why am I paying the license?
Paying for the device.
Before you know it, they'll say, "Oh, it's just one thing after the other." Please, I'm still struggling to make sure that my books are balancing. I need people like, and then you hear tax. Okay, this one is Lagos State. This is LIRS. This one is FIRS. Like it doesn't end. It doesn't end. And they would force and impose themselves on you. They don't care how your business is doing, if your business is struggling, whatever. They've come. If you don't agree, one day you will just come to your office and they'll just come and put something in front of
Big X and a
big
sticker.
X,
But are they actually
Crazy.
doing their jobs? Obviously, you have to pay all these kind of levies, and you have a public building. Do you see any evidence of, your taxes being well spent
It's just for my peace, just go away.
for your own peace of mind?
Yes, just
So imagine
go
that.
away. It's not necessarily because I'm enjoying, the road that I come on to work is not a smooth ride. So
So how do we inspire, apart from doing our little bit? Don't you feel as a Nigerian, you should have a level of love for your country that no matter how far you walk, no matter all the book that you read, there should be something, a voice or something in your heart that would compel you to pour in back home. Because you're back home.
yeah.
And I'm back home against, my mom and dad's better judgment. They left here to go and seek greener pastures. And their firstborn decided to come back. Mm-hmm. So the things, like you said, your security and stuff that, you worry about, is different when now as a parent, you're there worrying, my child is on the road at 3 a.m. Did she get home safe? Don't you think we owe ourselves a level of patriotism?
Of course, everything that we're doing here, like you said, the social media space is exposing everything to a global audience. So it's the love that we have for our country that still keeps us here through all of the things that we experience, and still even allows us to want to put things out there to showcase a better Nigeria. Because, with his career, you have people that even are living outside of Nigeria and saying, I want to be like Bovi. And they feel like Bovi did it here, so I want to come back and do it here. That's the love.
Do you get any of those messages? Because there are a lot of Nigerians that have never stepped foot in Nigeria. So the idea of patriotism is, hey, I carry my green, white, green flag. I wore my shirt on Independence Day. I went for a party. Do you get a lot of people who actually reach out and like say, hey, bros, I want to go back house, so I want to try this thing? Do you even open the DMs, first of all?
Sometimes I do, but I've never really gotten that kind of message of someone saying, oh, they want to come back to pursue a comedy career. Yes, really? Those kind of DMs. But I have sat with a few, even, I told you I was in New York some days ago. I met with this guy who does these videos. The one I saw first that went viral was when the whole internet shut down. Google had this issue and planes were grounded in America some months ago.
Okay,
you heard about that, right?
Yeah.
So the guy did a spoof video and it starts with saying, oh, the guy who made the mistake in the system, they've interviewed him. So you see it and you think it's serious. And then when he starts talking, you'll be like, no, this is a joke, right? Nigerian guy from Aba, he went to America from Aba. And the person who arranged the meeting was asking, are there any tips if he wants to come back here and start? And I said, no, don't come. Right.
Why did you tell him not to come?
Because of the peculiarity of the job.
Okay. It's like a niche. There's a niche for it.
Yes. I'm like, you already, we know you in Nigeria. People know you in America. And the reason I said don't come is because whatever you are doing there and how you are going about it
is working.
Is working. And it will still be the same thing here, actually. It will still be the same thing. So don't think you're coming to meet some kind of structure on ground that will say, oh, because you're back home, this and this and this and this will work for you better than it's working for you there. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you tell them. They'll just be like, oh, no, but you... Because I get messages all the time. And it's just like, oh, we are really proud the way you went back. And I'm like, you people don't even understand how I went back. Course where I do for school, where no quite go the way I want. And my parents in my ear constantly at home that had me, I'm going on a holiday, I'll be right back. And I just never came back. Right? But I think most importantly for the Nigerians and other Africans who are just away from home, until you touch soil, you can't really
understand
know what you are doing. And, like you said, you can have a niche, but in this town, you need to have many niches to survive. The way the condition of the country is, because it depends on the crayfish. So are you guys thinking, or recently, have you ever just sat down and just thought, you know what, my cup is full. I have had it. I don't want to sit this place. Have you come into any kind of those thoughts recently? Because you are both still highly skilled individuals in your respective fields. So, Dabs, has that happened to you recently?
Yes. I'm actually sourcing opportunities for my business to grow globally. And if the opportunity presents itself and I have to leave again, I will.
So, inversely, in a way, it's kind of pushing you to go for more than what you have.
So now, for me, this is not just about Nigeria. This is now me trying to fulfill my own dream, which is create something that, women all over the world can, enjoy and benefit from. So for me, I think with the way the system is here, I have put in my best. I know there's room for improvement, but I'm not excited to go down that route. So pending when the opportunity comes, or in fact, opportunities have been coming and I'm enjoying it, and I'm hoping that it is more, permanent. I will, because that's my own personal agenda. It's not even about Nigeria. I mean, even if Nigeria was great, I would still want to enter into other
to expand
markets.
Your brand and go international.
So, and if that means having to relocate, then I will.
Well, you're international as it
I was going to say,
comes.
I'm that stage where I live in different parts of the world at different times of the year.
That's how are you doing it?
Because of the nature of what I like to do and what I'm doing, right? In the first quarter of the year, I spent 2 months in America and Canada, Next year, I want to tour Australia again.
That's foul.
Yes, I want to do Australia.
You said it again.
Yeah.
So you've been.
I've done Australia before.
What was your show? Were there plenty Nigerians there?
They were, but what the funny thing that happened was my show in Australia was Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. And these 3 shows were fixed a week to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. The Melbourne Comedy Festival is the second biggest comedy festival in the world. So people were mistaking my show, as a pre-festival show.
So they were rushing.
Yeah, so in Brisbane, I come out, hey, how far? And then the audience and the light is blinding. So I peep like this and I see that 60% of the hall is white.
But they were enjoying it now.
But now pidgin English jokes I already come before, so
had to quickly rearrange.
I had to readjust for, especially Brisbane, but Sydney and Melbourne was mostly Nigerians that came, and a few white folks and all, so I'm already in talks with them. I want to go back.
Hey, Bovi,
that was 2014. Yeah. I'm coming back, so depending on what the agents can get, if we land Australia successfully, maybe 2 or 3 cities, then I'll be like, okay, let's check what's happening in New Zealand or Auckland. So that's the homework we are doing already. I might tour America again next year as well, So that's why I said in that regard, for filmmaking, I still want to do my film here. If I find collaborations abroad, if I see productions and sponsorship to do the kind of picture I would want to do that requires collaboration, sure, I would do it. But basically,
that's good.
That's the advantage I have that she doesn't have, because she's selling products. You get.
And you're selling steez.
I'm not only selling products.
Yes.
Right.
I have multiple businesses.
Yes,
but
she
I'm
does.
centering this conversation around my products.
Your products.
And this is where I'm saying my industry, people are not listening. There's so much to my industry, and it's not just products. There's a whole lot, like 1,001 careers that you can build from my industry.
Around beauty, yes.
Yes, so,
Yes, that's very true. There's aesthetics and there's all sorts. All right, guys, we're going to continue this conversation after this break. Welcome back, guys. We're going to continue the rest of our conversation. Dabota, I just wanted to pick up on a statement you made, because you said you're very positively inclined and not actually taking that time away, or your parents sending you away to go to boarding school had a lot to, in shaping who you are today. So I just want you to mention some of the positive things, going out and getting high-end skills, or, taking your skills abroad, etc., whichever way, the positive ways it can impact an individual or their brand or business.
Bringing it back here?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I would say for me is attention to details, asking the right question, research, trying to follow due process, because I'm used to living in a system where there's structure and you must follow due process.
Okay.
So I'm constantly trying to make sure that, I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's. And that has saved me from a lot of problems.
Okay.
So that's...
You're thorough. You have a method, you follow the process, and that has helped you through life.
And also the ability to be flexible as well. So like, I studied economics and finance, and I'm back here now. I'm handling beauty. Nobody made me feel like, from where I was coming from, that you can't diversify. In fact, education, apart from maybe the medicals, the sciences, it's a signal of your ability to adapt, to be flexible, to, be able to just do things. So when you apply for a job, maybe you studied finance, you can apply for just about any kind of job. And the company knows that, okay, this person graduated with a first class with a 2-1. She has the ability to learn. We can train her and she can fit into our company. So for me, chasing my own dreams, I didn't feel limited that, I must work in a bank. I must be an investment banker. I knew that me being able to do my degree and do well in my degree meant that I can do just about anything. You know, the only limitation I have is I cannot be a doctor, I cannot operate on someone. But again, it's still a signal that if I wanted to go into it, I still have the ability to do that. So that keeps me encouraged, because for every time I am faced with a challenge,
you find a solution.
I try to find a solution around it. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the positive ways that, well, you know, being able to live in a few countries now at different times of the year, what are the positive things that adds for your life and your brand?
I mean, I'm living my dream. I'm doing things that make me happy. You know, which I think is ultimate for every human being. I always say the most difficult journey anybody will travel is the journey to self-discovery. When you discover yourself, life becomes a breeze. You take every stumbling block as a stepping stone. You know, you face your challenges knowing that, okay, you will surmount them. And if you don't, you learn from them. So I'm just happy doing what I do. Yeah. And like she said, I'm flexible as well.
Okay.
I adapt. I know how to adapt like water.
So you have a good balance right now of daddy, business, your own time, social time, which is very difficult to achieve if you're over there. Sometimes you'll be tired from work, you don't have time for socials, etc. So you have this thing down to the T now, basically.
I think my approach to life has been a very major advantage. I try not to stress over anything.
In this Lagos,
I don't worry.
You don't stress.
If I stress, I catch myself immediately. Like the moment it
your
dawns on me,
accounts
you're
must be
stressing.
endless, so because
no, I don't even stress when I'm broke. No, I don't.
You lie.
Because the stress is not going to solve the situation.
You're not a normal man then. I heard men get all shaky, ugly,
It's not
don't
easy.
eat.
It's not easy. That's the truth. But once I figured that worrying doesn't solve it, why worry?
So what do you do when you look at your account and the account is not quite accounting? Like, what do you just sit down, pour yourself a drink? Like, how do you cope? Because
well, sometimes I just shut down first.
okay.
There is always a way. It takes a small keyhole to open a big door. Right. There will always be
I will not
a
lie.
way.
This one that you're saying now. I'm not normal when I'm broke. I'm emotional, I'm aggy, I want to fight, and
Right.
that's just it.
And how many times has it solved the problem?
It doesn't solve anything, but you might feel just a little bit better, just for 2 seconds.
So the way you let out your steam is different from how I let out my steam.
But that's not the only way now.
Sometimes-
Please, that's not the only way. I beg.
Sometimes there are situations where I've been like, I'm in a dire situation. And I'm like, okay, this is not working, this is not working, this is not working. What do I do? Let me go shopping. What? Or let me go and hang out with my friends. Let's have some drinks. You know, stuff like that.
I think men are more pro-solution.
Since when? Men?
No, men are more pro-solution and tend to spend time worrying. Women are nurturers, so we tend to worry more than we should. You know, when a man is faced with a challenge, he's thinking of how to get out of it now. But women, we're nurturers, we're emotional, we worry so much. So when we find ourselves in a tight corner, we'll give ourselves enough time to worry about it.
My dear.
Marinate in it.
And then we'll just, try and switch it up. And
when this situation like this one, you had a point where you just looked at the country and looked at your Azza and were like, hey, oh, you too, no stress?
Of course I worry because I'm a woman. I care for so many people.
Yes, you do.
When I'm faced with challenges, I'm thinking of all the people that I care about and all the people that depend on me. A man is just, most times, not all men, but most men will just be like, stop, I'm going to have a drink with my friends. Maybe during that drink, Seth, the solution will just come out.
Or maybe no solution can come out at all.
Maybe during that time when they're watching the football match, depending on their circle, the solution will just come out, and you just see this man. He will come back, he will sleep, he will wake up, and it would look like, why are you not bothered? Why are you not panicking? But I think most men handle, challenges like that.
Well, they internalize them a lot, but that's mental health, and that's like another day.
Yes.
All right, guys, we have been going in on this very serious topic, and I personally would like to encourage highly skilled Nigerians to come home. Please, we really, really need you right now. Okay, welcome guys. We are at the fun part of the podcast, thanks to Vesti. So I'm going to keep it very simple, not too much stress, nothing deep. We're going to play this or that. So I'm going to give you two options and you're going to rapid fire select the one that you choose first. So first to you, Mr. Bovi, formal attire or casual wear?
Casual.
Casual.
Really, Debs? You dressed you look beautiful.
This is casual.
It's casual.
Smart.
Oh dear. All right, so this one is cheating. Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Really?
Yeah.
Comedy or drama?
None.
None at all. So what would you put instead?
Horror.
Horror? No, she'll have nightmares. Maybe documentaries.
I like documentaries.
Yes.
I like ancient history. I like Greek mythology.
You like culture?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you had to watch fiction,
Comedy or drama?
What genre?
Funny enough, I enjoy watching the new Yoruba folktale.
Okay, so drama.
Type of movies.
Yes.
Is that drama?
Yes, it's drama.
Okay, well, I enjoy watching that. I like, it's like the things you used to read or hear about. You just see them
more now.
Acted out. It's nice.
My industry people, you are trying. Your work is showing. Okay, Bovi, pop music or Afrobeat?
Pop.
Really? You're shocking me this podcast, eh?
Right from time. You don't even want to see my playlist.
So
I like Afro beats, but I grew up with pop music. I love pop music. All of them. Backstreet Boys, Westlife, Pink, Aguilera, Natasha Bedingfield, her brother Daniel Bedingfield, Michael Bublé.
Okay, all right. D, pop music or Afrobeat?
Afrobeats.
Okay. Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. Twitter is too dirty.
Instagram.
Definitely Instagram.
Twitter is too combative.
We're not going to talk about Twitter.
That's why I use my Twitter.
I'm the only reason. Why would you say that? I'm not the only reason.
The only reason why I use my Twitter.
Twitter, I prefer Twitter, funnily enough.
Why?
Because you just go.
Right.
Instagram is like, did they like it? Brands are how many? Not that I care, but is my account shadow banned? It's used to measure the weight of my work, and I don't like being measured on those numbers. I like you check my media reel. It's making sense to you. You didn't hire me because I have 100 comments, did you? You hired me because I know how to do the job.
Right.
Yes? Guys, watch My Village People. But yes. So I'm not really, Twitter is more my thing, but having said that, it is a battlefield, and yes, I have been shot many times. Phone call or text message?
Text.
Phone call.
Why phone call?
I don't know. I don't have that patience to type. I just want to say what I have to say and go. So even with like WhatsApp, I'll leave a voice note as my reply.
Oh, wow.
If I
Okay. It's interpersonal
even
for
with
you.
work, I'm always saying, please tell them that they should carry that this and go there. You reply with text, I'll reply with a voice note.
Why text messages?
Maybe I've had too many phone calls in my life. Yeah, but I would rather just text because I'm communicating with so many people at the same time, and my memory can
You can go back and trace
and
the
check.
last point.
Yeah,
Okay.
stuff like that.
All right.
But phone calls can be tiring sometimes. Yeah. I was shocked when you said
Phone call.
Well, nobody calls me
I
and
just
nobody
prefer to
texts me,
say,
so I don't know.
Like by the time sometimes I'm typing and I'm just like,
okay.
please.
Is this business you're talking now?
Just
Even
generally.
with my friends, I don't like sometimes she'll be chatting me, I'll be like, please, I'm tired of typing. Let me
Let's
just call you
talk.
and
Right.
let me get over with it.
Okay.
You're not even
Yeah.
bad. My own is worse.
I
Video
mean,
call.
you're like a global superstar, so you probably have like
To
thousands
filter.
of people calling you. For me, I don't have that, so I can get on with a quick phone call and end the conversation there.
Me neither.
Makes
Video
sense.
call.
I
Video
want
call.
to hear
video
you now.
call.
Now, tell me. Let's talk about it, and then I'm gone. Even with like social media, I try. Like it's a struggle to reply the comments.
You really try though. You do a good job.
Because if I could just leave the one, thank you guys for your nice comment, God bless you, and leave it at that, it's fine.
Me, I don't like phone call. I don't like text message. Video call me. Let me know it's real. Whatever you're saying, let me check your expression. Yes, because you don't know who's there, who's recording with this social media age and all kinds of crazy things flying up and down. I beg you. Please, one must be guided. All right. Well, the second part of our fun activities is a game called How Nigerian Are You? So I'm going to ask you. You're going to answer. Yes? First question. Ooh, Dabota, which side of the jollof rice debate are you on? Nigerian or Ghanaian?
Nigerian, of course.
Hey, Bovi,
please, oh.
do me well.
Really? It's the Nigerian jollof rice.
I
now.
beg, please, Ghanaian jollof is better than Nigerian
When I ate
jollof.
Ghanaian
Hey.
jollof, it was great. And I found out the chef was Nigerian. So
Does that count? Collabo.
I don't even think the comparison should be Nigeria versus Ghana. Have you tried?
It's a constant thing. It's like it's a thing that we banter
Maybe
about
because
online.
we're close, but there are other African countries
I
that
heard
cook
Senegal
fire
jollof.
jollof.
Yes, Senegal, who are actually the originators of Wolof. It actually started as Wolof.
well, first off, Nigeria doesn't even have one jollof.
Yes.
True.
So
Right,
that's
smoky
why
jollof.
there's no comparison.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Palm oil jollof.
Firewood jollof.
Oh, they plenty of. Okay, this jollof one, we'll keep that one to the side. Bovi, do you know what time Nigerian parties really start despite the invitation time?
4 hours after.
Hey, wow.
Unfortunately, 4 hours after.
Have you been at an event where you're like, okay, they told me to be here at this time.
It happens to me all the time.
And you're like,
It happens to me all the time.
what's the longest time you've waited for a party to start?
Oh, I wait. If I love you, I'll wait. If I don't have what I'm doing, I'll wait. I might go out to get a drink and come back, right? But because I don't want people coming late to my own parties. So
If you had a party, what time will you start it?
I'm always the first to start my party.
Oh, Dabota, have you been invited to party? Me, I've not been invited though.
I'm always the first. My friends are behind here. They can testify to you.
We're not your friends, sorry.
No, my friends that have
Sorry.
been to my parties,
So
right?
when's the next one?
They can testify. I don't know. This economy, me party wait.
No.
Me party wait first.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, I like to be on time
Okay.
for
Dave.
parties.
Sorry, Dabota. Can you name, I'm not going to do all, can you name 3 of the ingredients in a perfect pot of egusi soup?
The egusi for one. Crayfish,
Okay.
palm oil.
Okay. All right, well done.
Stephanie,
Bovi, can you name 3 ingredients in teriyaki sauce?
what's teriyaki sauce?
It's a Japanese sauce.
I don't know.
All right, so give me 3 ingredients for Eddie Kanko.
The leaf.
Which one is
You use your leaves now, the green.
What's the name of the leaf, bro?
You can use your green. Especially green.
Yes,
There's
so
a leaf
political.
called green.
There's a leaf called green?
Yeah.
No, me, I've heard water leaf, bitter leaf, watercress, spinach, pumpkin leaf, ugu. I've heard
So are you
plenty.
hearing the crew behind?
Is there
There's a
green
leaf called
leaf?
green.
See them die, there's no green.
There is a leaf called green.
Please, guys, is this my
Check it
blonde
out.
girl moment?
Not really. Guy, green not day. Green day.
Okay.
There's a leaf called green.
But is that what they used to make
do I
edit
feel like
called?
that?
I swear to God.
I'm not lying.
All right, okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
The
So there's a
leaf-
leaf called green. Susceptible
Periwinkles.
ingredients, okay?
Periwinkles. Oil.
Oil. One more for good luck in case the green does not stand.
Meat.
Chai. All right, no problem. I'll let you have it.
by the way. So
How often?
not often, but I do cook.
Once every 2 years.
No, I do cook.
Eh?
Sometimes I cook for my chef.
For your chef.
Right. Like if I choose to say, okay, I'm the one cooking today.
How did that happen?
When I cook, he will eat now.
Interesting. Okay. Dabota, do you ever say sorry even when it's not your fault?
What did you say that again?
Do you say sorry even if it's not your fault?
It depends on who.
Okay. Clean answer. Bovi, what about you? It's the way you're thinking about it.
This is where we have something.
It's not because if
You
I
know what
say
is
sorry
sorry?
and it's not my fault, I'm coming back.
Okay.
Is that the same for you? I'm coming back. I will come back.
Something like I was really like I had to. Maybe I was forced to. Maybe something good will come out of it for me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, do I even say sorry when it's not my fault? I don't know. I think I do sometimes. Yes. You know, generally like, oh, sorry. Oh, I'm tired. Sorry, dear. Just sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
so yeah, those mild
Those
ones,
ones.
it's fine.
It's very Nigerian.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
ran
when it's
into
a
you,
manipulative
sorry.
situation where it's me versus
Real,
you and you are
yeah.
being manipulative.
Why are you pointing to me and saying
No,
manipulative?
for example, I'm
I
just
thought you loved
saying,
me.
like with
What's
somebody,
this?
it's not you, John. But you know, in a situation where it's ugly, I found myself in those kind of situations before. You know, and I was like, okay, so the only way to get out of this is to
Say sorry.
accept that I was wrong and say sorry. All right, sorry. You know,
Just for
And-
peace. But you're coming back to get your get back.
Yeah, because
Bovi.
life is a circle. So I don't even need to go back to you. You will come again. It will come full circle again.
Okay.
And if I'm forced to, like, it just creates that resentment about the whole situation. You know? So the truth is, it may look like I've said sorry, but the whole situation has just become worse.
I get your
soiled.
metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, Dabota, have you ever eaten gala and lacasera when stuck in Lagos traffic?
Yes, now I went to school in Nigeria. Normal. In fact, yes, gala and lacasera.
Gala.
There was a time lacasera was the drink.
Yes.
There's a thing
Eh?
like called lacasera and gala. Are you kidding me?
Was it when it first came out or something?
I think,
don't know.
maybe.
Because they had like a giant lacasera bottle in
There was
the
a
middle of
period
Lagos
when,
somewhere.
you know, in school you have like your talk shop, or sometimes you have like people that come with snacks. You skip everything and you go straight for lacasera. Yes,
Yeah.
lacasera was the drink.
You too, you chop gala?
I took a lot of public transport. So in the bus,
Can you imagine? When was the last time you took public transport?
I stopped taking public transport like 2 weeks before BRT buses were launched. Because I remember the day I said, I am never taking public transport.
Where's the Akpofure bus where you talk that?
Several things happened. You know, I was famous, but I don't get money. So, you
Okay.
know, I used to now avoid taking buses between the hours of 1:50 p.m. and 2:20 because that's when secondary schools close. And when these kids enter the bus, they'll be like, and I'll be struggling to play with them to make it, but yeah, this guy, you know, then I wouldn't pick my call in the bus because I can pick my call, hello, and I knew it was you.
Oh, snap.
Then one day, a girl sat with me in the bus and goes, are you the guy on TV? So I wanted to fool around and I said, no, it's not me. And she goes, no, don't be ashamed.
So don't be ashamed.
Now the whole bus is listening to this sermon.
Oh my
Don't be ashamed. Eh? Life is a gradual process. You will make it. I want to tell the speaking, say, now joke at the joke when I tell you, say, not be me.
Fine. So she gave you words of motivation.
Yes.
Can you see?
know?
We are doing our
It
best.
was a sequence of those events that made me just say, if I don't have money to take taxi, I'm not going again. This is 2007, by the way. No. I lie. 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Around. It's 2 weeks. Whenever BRT came out, that's when it was.
But when the BRT came out, did you think,
I was
maybe
like,
I for wait?
This looks more decent,
It
so
looks
I should have
spacious.
taken it. But I never did.
Well, that's a wrap for this conversation. And I would like to welcome all our viewers at home to comment below. If you have any issues or any experiences that are connected to brain drain, if you are coming, if you are going, please let us know. Write it down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And also, guys, I want to thank you. You know, I don't have all the billions and billions of Naira to give to you. But Vesti and I would like to give you a token of our appreciation. So this is for you.
Thank you.
And this is also for you.
Thank you.
My dress will not allow me to stretch very far.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
But we look forward to coming to your parties. Yes. He must give us invites now,
Yes, so
Dabota.
you have to give us
Yes, it's very, very important.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, baby. Well, guys, that's it from me at the Uncolored Podcast. Signing out. It's Venita Akpofure. See you next time.